Hello everybody, my name is Spoons Rattling, and welcome to another video. Today we're doing kind of a simpler video where I'm going to be ranking each armor mark for the Space Marines, excuse me, on a tier list. Of course, this is my opinion, but also my opinion is fact, and the first thing we're going to do here is change the name of this tier. I'm sorry, but that's just not true. This is not a tier list made by me, I just grabbed this off the internet. And we'll just go through it in order, starting off with, I believe this is Mark III, and Mark III is going in the bad tier. If you like Mark III, you're wrong. The weird bulldog helmet, the excessive bonding studs are lame, and this is just the worst armor mark. I don't think anything else is going to go in bad, except for Mark III. Next up, we have Mark X, the primaris armor, and this is going to probably go in... we'll put it in high fine. It's like it is the middle of the road. It's the most normal. It's it's quintessential Space Marine updated a little bit, but it's got some things that I think other armor marks do better. And speaking of, here we have, this is Mark 8, I believe it is. That's the one with the bomb collar look. Here is Mark 8 or Mark 9. I believe it's Mark 8 though. This one is fine as well. This is just Mark 7, but a little different. And when it comes to that, Mark 7 is better. I think the bomb collar look is cool for like Devastator Sergeants and stuff like that, but I don't think it's as universally... Actually, I don't like... We're going to do this. This guy has to be further down. Next up, we have the Phobos armor, which is very divisive, but I'm going to put it in fine. I like it. I don't like the calves. That's the only thing I don't like about it. The rest of it, I think it's a pretty cool, stealthy Spec Ops Space Marine look. It's just totally fine. I think it's just kind of worse Space Marine armor, though I do like the Infiltrator helmet. I think that looks quite cool, and the Reaver helmet is pretty cool too. Next up, we have Mark III. Mark III is awesome. It's got that bucket helmet look. This is going to be our first great tier. Mark III is just a classic. And I think it's very quintessential Space Marine, very quintessential Warhammer. Even though it's more associated with Heresy, I'd say it's even more 40k than it is Heresy. Next up, we have Mark VI. Mark VI is going to go below Mark III. The beaky helmet, if it was just the beaky helmet, it would go in perfection. But the rest of Mark VI is so bland that I don't really care for it. It lacks some details like knee pads, which is something you wouldn't think is important, but it makes it really hard to break up the color scheme. As you can see with this Raven Guard here, he's just kind of all black, and you can't really differentiate anything, which is fine. The beaky helmet is in fact perfection, but the rest of the armor is just whatever. Cataphracti Terminator, this one's going in fine. It is the worst version of Terminator armor. I don't know why so many people like it. It's just Terminator armor with some tassels. And, no, actually, that's not right. It's going to go above Phobos armor. Cataphracti is, again, fine. That's all I'd really give it, though. I think the other Terminator armors are better, except for this one, which I forgot was on this list. Saturnine is going to go in weird, because it is. It is weird. It is a proto-Terminator that Jez Goodwin made. Model's good, but it's just kind of weird. I like it, but it's weird. Tardis, this is going to go in good. It's pretty much just Cataphracti, but without the tassels and less stupid trim. Tartarus, I think, is kind of underrated as Terminator armor goes. It's not the flashiest, but I'd say it's better than Cataphracti. I overall prefer the look, and I think its models are better. Like the Scarab Occult Terminators are Tartarus Terminators, and they look sick. Tartarus armor also has a bad name because of its connection to Dawn of War 3, but, let's separate Gabriel Seth. That was dumb. No one likes Dawn of War 3, and if you do, you're not real. So this is Thunder Warrior armor, so Proto-Space Marine armor. We're going to put this one in weird as well, because it doesn't quite qualify to be Space Marine armor, because it's not Space Marine armor, it's Thunder Warrior armor, and it has a very archaic feel, as it should. This is pre-30th century, or 30th millennium. And I think it's it's very interesting, but I'm not going to put it in any of the other tiers because I think it's almost wrong to compare this to something like Mark 6 armor, because they're totally different. I get why it's here, but Thunder Warrior armor is going in weird with Saturnine. Indominus Terminator armor, you know where this is going. This is going in perfection. This is literally the best Terminator armor. That's when you think Terminator, this is what you think of. Sorry, it's better than Cataphracti, it's better than Tardis, and it's not even close. Indominus is literally the perfect version of Terminator armor. Mark II is going to go in good. It's just Mark III, but worse, in my opinion. So, we'll put it in fine. Because, again, it's just Mark III, but worse. It doesn't really have any of its own unique flavor. I do like the singular vision slit, but it's just Mark III, but less interesting. Mark IV is going to go... Sorry, I got this mixed up. This is Mark V. This is Mark IV. Mark IV is going to go in... We'll put it in good. I'm also going to do this. I'm actually going to do this, too. Mark IV is a little better than Mark VI, because in one regard that it has better ways of differentiating the armor, but Mark VI is a lot more unique. Mark IV is pretty much just Mark VII, but not as interesting. And actually, let me do this. I think it goes better. Again, nothing wrong with Mark IV. I just think it's rather plain. I think in terms of the heresy armor, Mark III and Mark VI are both more interesting. And it just kind of fits perfectly into, it's good. It's still a Space Marine, but it's just fine. That's all it is. And finally, this one, you know where it's going. Mark VII is the perfect version of Space Marine armor. It has the, it is the quintessential Space Marine. I know intercessors are coming up on 7-8 years old now. And still, when I think Space Marine, I think Mark VII. The Vox Grill is perfect. The helmet in general is the best helmet, bar none. Hold on, I'm going to leave it like this. Bar none. Best helmet in Space Marine armors. Best helmet in all of 40k, I'm going to say. I don't think anything even really comes close. Like, this is the 40k helmet. And the rest of the armor is fantastic, too. It's got the perfect blend of, big armor and nice differentiators, the trim on the shoulder pads, the knee pads, stuff like that. I think it is the best looking power pack. I haven't mentioned power packs much, but I'd say Mark 7 is it's the power pack. I mean, all the power packs are pretty much the same, excluding Mark 3 and by extension Mark 2. But as I was saying, Mark 7 truly is perfection. And to correct that error, we're going to change the name of this to MK Duke V. This is an objectively right tier list, and if you disagree with me, I'm afraid to say you are just wrong. This is what every Space Marine tier list should look like, because opinions do not exist, there is only fact. And this is truly the epitome of all things Warhammer, because I am always right, and you should agree with me. And if you don't agree with me, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And if you do agree with me, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I will see you all next time.